Hello, I am back. I just wanted to make another video I've been thinking about recently. Um, so in the last video about how I think I might have schizoid personality disorder, I still haven't gone to a therapist or anything. I don't know if I ever will, especially because of how much I work. But that's I guess really not neither here nor there. But in that video, I did talk about being human in a way. Now, I couldn't really explain my thoughts on it at the time, and I still can't really now. And that's really simply because I've forgotten like what my thoughts were on it. Like for whatever reason, like just a month ago or something, I had like a detailed thought on what I thought it was to be human or how I view humans. And for whatever reason, I've lost that like just idea, but I still got scraps of what I had or what I used to think or what I might have thought. Or maybe this is what I thought before, but it's not as succinct as I thought it was to begin with. So I'll kind of just, I guess, I got some stuff written down, so I'll kind of read off of that and then I'll get into some other things. But this video won't be as long as last time. I also want to apologize for the last video. The recording, like, I still don't understand audio and stuff, so it might still sound bad. I'll try to make this one sound better, but at the very least, I hope that you can hear me. Well, okay. So, my thoughts, asking myself what it is to be a human. Well, I mean, I just think anybody that's in the world is a human. I mean, possibly, I don't know. But I will say, I refer to people as humans when describing actions or when I am alone. So, like when I see people outside or whatever, and I'm like describing or attributing like their actions to whatever that they're doing, and it's like noticeable to me in a way. I kind of like, oh, that they're human. They're doing human things, especially when it's like kind of weird stuff. Like oh, they're doing the weird they're doing the weird thing that humans do. There's a creator that I watched a while back. Her name was Brittany Simon, and she had a video, and I don't remember what it was called, but she was talking about how humans are going to human, and that was kind of her mantra that that she kind of goes by or whatever or was going by. I don't watch her anymore, but like she was saying that humans are going to human. So whenever a human does something unexpected or whatever, or like something that's like kind of dumb in a way, or maybe illogical, she was like, "Oh, well, they're human." Or like they're super emotional, like oh they're human, they're going to act that way. So don't take too much offense to that. Now I do. When I heard that, I was like, oh wow, that is an amazing thought pattern because things do happen that are like, why did that happen? Like, why did this person do this? And you're like, oh, because they're human. That's why. And I always thought that was interesting. Now I don't like necessarily ascribe to that wholeheartedly. It's like, oh, humans are gonna human, therefore it's kind of okay for them. Not necessarily okay for them to do bad things, but it's like, oh, well, it should be expected in a sense. But when I say this, I'm not really trying to differentiate myself from like people in general. It's like, oh, they're human. I'm not saying that like because I think I'm not human or like I'm above humanity, but I'm just saying that it's like here's a thought that I had. It's like when I was younger, a lot of older people thought that I was very like wise for my age, but I was still like pretty young. And then like sometime afterwards they'd be upset with me about something. Not horribly upset, but like upset enough for me to kind of notice, right? And I'm like, I know you might think that I'm really wise or like I'm like almost on par with you in a way when it comes to having an intellectual conversation or just thinking properly in a way. But I'm like, in my mind, I was like, well, I'm still like 30 years younger than you, or more sometimes, or maybe a little less, and maybe like 10 years younger, anywhere to 10 to 50 years younger. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that you feel that I'm really wise right now, but there's things that I'm going to do in the future that I know that are possibly going to upset you. And I just, in my mind, was like, I'll just accept it when it comes. But it's like, and I was thinking, like, if I ever have children or see another young person and be like, oh man, this is a really smart person. If they do something that's illogical, I'll be like, oh, wait a second, let's take a step back. This person is like 20 years younger than me. That makes sense that they're doing the childish and immature thing that they're doing. And no matter how wise they come off to be, because they haven't had the experience of being mature in that way. That's just how I thought about it. But that's like kind of what I mean by being human in a way, and not necessarily separating myself from being human. Is really because I wanted to, and it was like it helped me understand or be at peace with why people do things or act a certain way. Um, Especially when it came to anger. Like I didn't understand why some people would get so angry at things. It just didn't really make much sense to me. Okay. Now I know I still sound a bit ambiguous uh, when I say that, but like, and it's hard to kind of explain. Uh, But like when I say like anger, I'm talking about like unnecessary anger. It's like somebody that you don't even know comes up to you and like calls you outside of your name. You don't know this person, and then it's like you're just angry for no reason because you don't know this person, and this person just doesn't have like they're clearly out of their mind in a way to just randomly come up to you and like say some like heinous things. I don't know if you guys might have seen that video with this, I guess, streamer who went over to the UK or London or something like that, and like he got accosted by these group of men while he was in a restaurant. Uh, and in the comments, there's like a lot of people that are like, "Oh man, if that was me, I wouldn't have let that happen." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean that's fair, but it's like." He's in a different country, and probably doesn't know all the rules of engagement over there. Um, and they clearly there was like some sort of problem going on. So, like you being angry in that moment or angry about it doesn't really make. I mean, you could be angry. Yeah, yeah, you're getting punked in a way, but it's like you're not going. It doesn't make any sense for you to get if you're in that situation to get riled up, and then want to fight these people that clearly have weapons. Now, if this was like his home turf and he knows all the rules and stuff like that, like and how he can be okay, like if that happened in America, it'd be like, and he had a firearm on him, you'd be like. He probably just shoot the person, possibly. I guess I don't know. And it's just, I just think sometimes people just get angry, or humans get angry for no reason, in a sense. Now, going back to being human, right? Or like calling people human. I know is a little bit jumbled up. I apologize. But I usually say this when somebody does or says something that's a bit illogical, but like sort of expected in a way. Kind of like there's a friend of somebody. For example, I'll say this: there's a friend of somebody that I know, and I don't know how to say this, but it's like he he kind of was like believing in what somebody was saying, simply because he had some sort of interest in this person. And the person that I know asked him, like, why do you believe this person? Like, did they give you any like evidence of what happened or whatever? And his friend was like, man, I just know. Like, I was looking in their eyes, and their eyes kind of told me the truth. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's just what humans do sometimes. They just believe what they want to believe, especially when they're interested in somebody in a way. I was like, man, that's just it just doesn't make any sense. But I mean, they are human, so they are senseless at times, you know. But but which is kind of like, but this is like kind of, it kind of just, I don't know. I think the whole thing is like very interesting about viewing humans as entities unto themselves, like as if I'm like distant in a way, although I do participate in the same manner in a way of being human. Like another aspect of like viewing humanity is like whenever I see like somebody that's like similar to me in a way of like just kind of being not necessarily brutally honest or like blunt and stuff, but like there's no, like there's a filter, but it's like the filter isn't, it's not like in a sense they're not masking as much, you know. So they'll say something that is like, that I know that is gonna offend somebody else, and it's like now we have to deal with this situation. It's like when I see others similar to me in a way, I say, and they say something that I know is gonna offend others. I just think, man, you did not have to say that. And I also think, like, man, just do or just say the human thing so we can get past this. You know, like I'll say this in one situation where somebody that I know, uh, and they were they were at. I'm being very vague, but this person was my brother actually, and we were much younger, and my mom saw on his journal what it said because my brother had a project that he needed to write or something like that. And on the journal, it was titled because he was supposed to give it an interesting title, and my brother put on it, um, "My Boring Family," and I was like, and my mom saw that, and I was like, oh, "Here we go, man! Like here we go with the nonsense now." Like, my brother put "My Boring Family," and I know my mom's gonna be very emotional about seeing that. And the funny thing about it is, like, he's saying it's boring, but I find it very satisfying that I don't have to do things with my family. It's like, and I was like, man, I hope this doesn't turn into us now having to do things together because my mom saw a boring family and now feels the type of way because only one of us feels that way about it. Now, it might be boring. I don't really care. But either way, it didn't turn into a big fight. But it was like they were talking to each other, and mom was like, what do you mean by that?" In a little bit of an agitated voice, and I was like, and I ended up smoothing the thing over. I don't remember what I said, but I think it was along the lines like, "Oh, he's not saying that the family's boring. He's just saying that we haven't done anything." And I was like, "Well, maybe this will work," and it kind of did, and that nothing really happened from that. Nothing really happened from that. Now I know that was kind of whatever. Um, Another thing. that is very interesting is that although I may have a schizoid personality style in a way, I do find humans to be entertaining. Um, but like, I don't mean like I like hanging out with humans. I like what I like is like their minds. I like the mind of humans. I just kind of want to watch them like a people watcher and see how they interact with ideas or moral dilemmas in a way. Um, I once had a roommate in college, and this was a very, I think he was a shy kid in a way, and he would tell me often that he needed alcohol to be able to speak to girls, and when he goes to parties, and I was like, fair enough. I mean, if that's what you need, then let that be. But there was this one time where this girl that he's been seeing at parties, and he knew this girl had a boyfriend in a sense. But the girl told him. And another big thing is that he wanted to kiss girls at these parties. This is a very young kid, for college. That is, he was young, and his big thing is that he wanted to kiss girls at these parties, and he's telling me this stuff, and he he kind of knew this girl. Now I could be misremembering this because it was a while ago, but he kind of knew this girl that he would see at parties often, and kind of knew that she had a boyfriend. But at some point during that specific party night, she told him that she didn't have a boyfriend, uh, and so he felt it wasn't but he felt it was okay to just kind of, I guess, kiss this girl at this party. And then, like, almost immediately after, or some point after, during the same night, she is being, I guess, dragged away by her boyfriend or ex boyfriend. And the thing that I like to do with people is like, I kind of like giving them a moral dilemma that they could chew on a bit. So I do like to see how they try to uh, get out of like seeming like a bad person. And so I was like, oh, so you knew this person had a boyfriend, but you still went and kissed her. Is that what you're into? And he was like, no, 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 she didn't have a boyfriend at the time. I was like, well, how did you know that she didn't have a boyfriend at the time she told me? He was like, oh, she must. I mean, clearly she lied to you because that guy was upset that she was there with you, right? Or it was something along the lines that the guy ended up like talking, like getting to the girl in some type of way, and he was like, "Yeah, but I mean, she told me that she didn't have a boyfriend." It's like, "Oh yeah, so as soon as you had the opportunity, you wanted to take advantage of this girl, huh?" And he was not happy with what I was saying to him, and that's fine. I just thought back then it was way funnier. I'll say that, but it wasn't really that big of a deal. I was like, and it was a funny thing, like I said, I know that was a little bit incoherent, but like dealing with people, talking to people, and how they deal with moral dilemmas. In that situation, I had found out prior that I could kind of talk to people to get them to be a bit agitated, and then like talking back down from being agitated in a way. So I talked to him in that situation about him, in a sense, taking advantage of this girl. This girl was older than him, by the way, um, and having a boyfriend. And then as soon as he was like, "Oh, you're just like," I forgot what I was saying, but it's like you're just like super ready to just like get on to somebody that you think doesn't have have a boyfriend that you don't even care that they might have just broken up, right? Or they may not have broken up and they're lying to you. It's kind of how it started, and then it went into uh, me being like, "Hey, man, I'm not saying that you're a bad person. I'm just saying that you're like you were just eager for the chance, and she did lie to you in a way." And then you calm down from that. It reminded me of a situation from prior, what two previous roommates that were talking about religion in a way. Or no, it was one roommate and his friend came over, and we were talking about religion, and all three of us were in the living room talking about this. And one of the room, my roommate, is actually pretty lax with his faith in a way, or he was rather lax in his faith, and his friend was a lot more stringent or strict with his faith. So I don't fully remember what I said, but I said something along the lines of like, I think I set it up first, was like, you're okay. I don't know. It was something about one of the practices in the religion where you kind of it like it has to be strict in a sense. And I was like, so y'all would be, I think along the lines of y'all would be cool with each other or something. Like you're cool with a religion that you don't really have to practice like hard or something like that. I don't fully remember it. Like it was so long ago, but I do remember the feeling. And it was like I was able to say something that set it up. I was like something about a practice that they have to do in their religion. And their friend was like, "Yeah, we do this practice." And they both gave me answers, and one of them felt like it. My roommate, it felt like it was more lax, but it seemed like they didn't realize like how their answers in a sense contradicted each other, and so I then harped on to no, I didn't harp on it, but I didn't ask him. I was like, oh, so it's okay if you don't do this thing as strictly as this or whatever, and he was like, yeah, it's okay. And then the friend was all like, no, it's not. And no, it's not okay to do that. And then they started kind of like arguing with each other. I was like, oh, I knew I had this ability, but seeing me be able to do this like intentionally was very interesting. I was like, oh yeah, I like that. And then they were arguing for it wasn't like a horrible argument, but they were raising their voices at each other. I mean, it is about religion, and so and they may not like if they ever see this video, they probably won't agree with what I'm saying. They may not even remember it, but then after a while, I was like, I'm tired. I don't want to really hear them argue anymore. Let's see if I can let's see if I can reel this back in. And I was like, oh, do you think you guys are arguing this hard because I'm here? And they're like, no, 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 we just kind of talk like this sometimes. This is all good. And then it calmed down from there. I was like, bro, what the heck? Do I really have this ability like this, right? To mess with humans simply because I see them from like a different angles. Like I can pinpoint like their insecurities in a way and talk to them like that. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Now that was a bit. I was rambling a bit right there, and that was a bit incoherent. But that was what my thought pattern in a way is about being human. To be human, like you said, it's like humans will do what they typically do. Like they'll act a certain way, get excessively emotional, and they'll ascribe things that may not really make any sense, but they'll be okay with that because they are human. And that doesn't mean I'm not susceptible to the same thing. I can fall into the same thing very easily. But another point that I wanted to bring up, going back to the idea of that woman or that creator called Brittany Simon, who introduced me to the idea of humans are going to human. Although I don't really believe that entirely, I do have a mindset, like two things that kind of ring true to me. Uh, these are things that I kind of think of now. It's like one is do the thing, and the other is like everything is everything and nothing is nothing. The everything is everything and nothing is nothing more aligns with the humans are going to human thing. And when I say that, I mean it's like if somebody has a thought pattern or positioning in their mind that they don't really want to be shaken off of, they have the ability to say that they disagree with you in all ways. Like it doesn't matter how much evidence you give them, they will be able to bring up anything in their mind, whether it be past or possible future or present, and be like, yeah, this thing that's this will always be this thing. Like, like, no, it's weird. I don't want to really give any like strong examples because they're all controversial. But if somebody has a position that you completely disagree with, anything and everything that has to do with that position, they will agree with, and no matter what you say, typically will not shake them unless something negative or ground shaking happens to them in alignment with what they're thinking. And nothing is nothing. It's like obviously it's like that. I mean that goes along the same thing. Everything is nothing is nothing. It's like if they don't believe you or like they've never seen what you're talking about, they have every thought in their mind, or have they in a sense have every excuse unto themselves to never believe you. It's like, oh, I've never seen that. I never heard about that thing. It's like I don't have to agree with what you have to with or what you're saying, and they really don't have to agree. Even if you bring up a point, it's like I've never seen that. It doesn't matter, right? They can always feel that way. Now, the other thing that I have, oh well, going back to everything and nothing and nothing. That's typically about interpersonal like relationships and like arguing and talking to people. They can believe everything or they can believe nothing. It's whatever they choose to feel. Now, the other thing of just do the thing that goes more back into the mindset of like trying to like coping with, in a sense, being schizoid. Now I've said this before, I don't have an actual diagnosis of being schizoid, but I do or having a schizoid personality style, but I do feel like I fit a lot of the traits in a way. But this is what in a sense helps me kind of cope with like not having any motivation and not wanting to do anything and not having any pleasure in anything, uh, is just do the thing because I know that I have to do it. So I just do it in a way. No Nike, just kidding. Um, uh, like I put a standard. Now this just do the thing might be in alignment with me possibly having an obsessive compulsive personality style as well. But in my mind, I like what I do now is like I live in an apartment and I have to clean the bathroom. I have to clean the bathroom at least once a month. So I have it in my mind scheduled on the first weekend of the start of the next month is when I clean the bathroom. And I have to follow that. Because if I don't follow that, I just won't clean the bathroom. I know that for sure. Like there's one time where I did decide I'm not going to clean it on the first of the month. I'm going to do it next week. And it ended up being I didn't clean the bathroom for 4 months. So I was like, yeah, I got to make sure I follow this plan. Because if I don't follow the plan, I'm not going to do the thing. I'm not gonna do right by myself in a sense. Another thing that I have of just doing the thing is taking a shower the day prior of the morning that I need to go work. Let me explain. I work early in the morning, very early in the morning. So I have to leave the house super early. I also like to go walk in the morning. When I say early in the morning, I mean like I gotta leave at like 2 to 4 a.m. Anywhere between 2 to 4 a.m. is when I leave to go to my job. And so I take a shower the day prior so I don't have to do it in the morning. Because if I don't, then I'm not going to take a shower. Now, there's a little more things that go into it. So, not only do I need to take a shower beforehand, but before that shower, I need to walk uh, at least 30 minutes. And before walking 30 minutes, I need to have worked out typically. I can go a couple days without working out and then walking, so I take a shower before the day. I can do that. But how my day goes is I finish work, I go work out, I then walk for at least 30 minutes, then take a shower, go to sleep and get ready to work in the morning. And that's how I go. And that keeps me like it keeps me keeping up with myself and just doing the thing. Another just doing the thing that isn't so much as schizoid is like I had roommates when I was living at a house and we had to mow the lawn. And we didn't necessarily establish who needed to mow the lawn next. It was just like we're supposed to see that the lawn is out of order in a way, and somebody was supposed to cut the grass. What ended up being was that nobody really cared like how bad the grass was getting, and I guess it's because we were all pretty young, so we didn't really care. But we ended up getting a notice from the people that we were renting from. It was like, hey, these weeds are getting out of hand. Y'all need to do something about it. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to have this like rent hiked up whenever we renew the lease or something, or us just get kicked out. So let me just go ahead and just start cutting the grass. I then kind of waited a little bit again to see if any, like, cause we all got the notice. I waited again to see if anybody else would clean the grass or cut the grass, and it just didn't happen. I was like, okay, well, I'll just cut the grass. It's not like it's that big of a deal to do. Just do the thing. Although I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do a lot of things, but it's like if I have it in my mind of just do the thing, I know I can do it. And I've already built up enough reps of just doing the thing that whenever I tell myself, just do the thing, I can get the thing done, typically. Um, but I will say, if I tell myself, just do the thing, and I don't do the thing, it like, it takes out way more progress than it ever does of building progress. So like if I say just do the thing and I do the thing, that's just one notch in progress of being a better person or a better human in a way. But if I don't do the thing, it takes about at least 2 to 5 points of progression back every time. Like it's not. I said two. Two is really not even like accurate. Like five really is what it is. It's just fortunately enough now I've built up enough progression where I say just do the thing and I don't do it. It doesn't. It's not as big of a deal. Now there was a time where it was like every time I didn't do it, it like took back like 10 points or 20 points sometimes, and I just wouldn't do anything. They're kind of going back to like cleaning the bathroom, like not cleaning it 1 month ended up turning into 4 months. It might have actually been longer. I don't remember. Beforehand, there would be times where I didn't want to take a shower. Now that was when I was a little more depressed, right? Not as depressed as I used to be, but if I didn't take the shower, it might turn into a full week of me not taking a shower, and it was just nasty, obviously. But it, like having the but acting that way is like I don't feel bad, and I'm not really interacting with other people. And typically, it wouldn't be until, and this is what I guess this has something to do with the obsessive compulsive style. Is like it wouldn't be like if I don't brush my teeth and I don't shower, if I smell anything that smells bad, not necessarily on my body, but like in the world in general, I'll immediately want to throw up. So I have to take a shower within 2 to 3 days, or else I might like get sick or like feel like throwing up. Because if I don't, I feel like rather disgusting. Even if I am living disgusting, not taking a shower is one thing that will that I just automatically will have to do eventually because my body won't let me not do that, which is funny. Uh, and it's so weird because it's like I won't feel bad or sick or anything, and it's not until I smell something. I don't brush my teeth and I don't shower, and if it's been days, if I smell anything that it might be something that typically smells good to me, if it smells bad or like I feel like it smells bad in that moment, I'll immediately want to retch. Like I'll immediately want to throw up and be like, I need to, I need to clean myself like badly right now. Uh, but that's just how I think a little bit. I want to see how much time is gone. Um, uh, well, this will be another relatively long video, I guess. It's not an hour long, but it's better than what it was, I suppose. Um, well, I appreciate you guys if you did end up watching the rest of this video, or watching this video entirely. Uh, yeah.